Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Beautiful day today. God has given us life and liberty and the pursuit of knowledge. Here we go. Let us, first of all, begin the day by giving charity. Good morning. Good morning. I have to, let's see, do I have to do anything over here? There we go. Admit. Wonderful. Okay, good morning. Now there we go. Good
Got
morning.
to tell a story yesterday
I know. And you know
and
what?
the day before.
Yeah, I know, you're right. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell a story now. I'll start off by telling a story. You have a very good point. Okay, am I recording here? Yes, I am. I'm recording. So good. Okay, so let's start the day off by giving charity. We're going to give charity. Here we go. Charity. State tzedakah tzatil mimos. It saves from death, and it brings all good things. It'll bring Mashiach. And Yisrael Nigolim Ela B'Tzedakah. Good. Wonderful. Now, story. Here's a story. I'll start with it's sort of a joke story. Huh? A man is walking home, poor man. It's in Russia, cold day in Russia. He's a poor man. He has to work in a factory, earns like just pennies a day, but it's enough to get by. He and his wife, they live in this sort of old hovel, very poor section of the town. But as he's walking home, as he decides that he can take a sort of a little detour, it'll take him 5 more minutes and go down the street where all the rich people are, the big stores and the fancy clothing stores and the fancy restaurants. It's a cold day outside, and he's walking. And he passes by a restaurant, and he happens to look into the restaurant and sees these corpulent people sitting on tables, and they're laughing. And of course, he can't hear what they're saying because it's closed and it's warm inside. He's like freezing cold, and the evaporation is coming out of his mouth. The smoke is coming out of his mouth every time he breathes out. It's cold, freezing, and he looks inside and sees all these people. They're all sitting there without coats on, without this, and they're laughing. And especially one man is sitting there and he's eating blintzes. So this poor man happens to have a real, once he ate a blintz and he liked it. They're eating like cheese blintzes. So he sits and he watches just with tremendous envy, and his mouth is watering, watching this fellow got a bib under his neck eating blintzes and taking a bite and laughing with the person who's sitting next to him. They're laughing. They bring blintzes for all the people sitting on the table. There's like 4 people sitting, and so this poor man goes home and he says to his wife, on the way home, I took a sort of a detour and I went by the rich area, and I looked in one of these plush restaurants, and I saw a table they're eating blintzes, and they got so much. Says to his wife, Sora, you think you can make me blintzes? She says, sure. Zalman, sure, I'll make you blintzes. She says, what a good wife you are. So she takes down the cookbook and she opens it up and she says, she takes out some flour, mixes it with water, and she makes like a sort of a thin pancake. She says, one second, Zalman, it says over here you have to have raisins. We don't have any raisins. He said, yeah, make it without raisins. He said, oh, you're such a good husband, Zalman. He says, one second, it says over here that you have to have cinnamon. Cinnamon, we don't have any cinnamon, Zalman. He says, oh, listen, you made it without raisins, make it without cinnamon. He says, listen, it also says you have to have cream cheese and honey and sugar. We don't have those things either. So listen, you made it without the raisins, without the cinnamon. Make it without these things. You're such a good husband. So she takes the souffle, whatever it's called, that she made, this like pancake, and she folds it over just like they do with blintzes, and she puts it on a plate and she serves it to him. And he's sitting on there by his table, puts a bib under his neck, like napkin under his neck. And he sits there with a knife and fork, and he cuts into it, makes a blessing, and eats the blintz. Of course, it has nothing inside of it, but he eats the blintz, and he tastes it, and he looks at his wife and he says, you know what, Sora? I don't understand. What do those rich people see in blintzes? What do they enjoy so much. This is just totally tasteless. What's the point of the blessing? What's the point of the story? There are some people in Judaism that they think that they can take the Torah, they can take the commandments, they can take the godliness, they can take the craziness out of Torah and commandments. They can take remove the, how do you say, the enthusiasm and the like I say, the craziness out of Torah and commandments and make it normal, make everything very normal. But then they can't figure out what do these religious people see in Torah and mitzvahs? What do they see in this? Why do they do that? It's just so dry and so uninteresting. So it comes to show you that Torah and commandments are like a BLINTZ, that they have to be filled up with love, with meaning, with a connection to the infinite creator of the universe. Okay, that's the story. That's the story. And I'll tell a story at the end also, because I missed a few days with stories. Okay, there I have just fulfilled my obligation of story. Now,